A quick stop at a small show was a fun way to spend a few hours on a recent Saturday, until a knucklehead in a Phillies jersey showed me new levels of annoying I didn't know was possible in modern humans.
Hits one in the air, left center field, back it goes! Harper, the swing of his life!
My newest Phillies shirt is an inside joke for true fans, and it worked too well at this small show, about 100 tables. As always, my first job is to get a Bryce Harper for the kid, and I quickly found this heritage card in a 50-cent box. This 50-cent box was organized by team, and dealers, you should do this more. We'll buy more cards, I assure you. Countless times I've given up on boxes, no doubt leaving sales of cards I wanted. While I was in there, I also got this first Bowman of Aiden Miller. He's the Phillies' current number 2 prospect and 47th overall prospect in Major League Baseball. I'm not a prospector, but for 50 cents, I'll tuck this one away and see what happens. I'll put it with the Andrew Painter card I picked up at the last show. A combined $1 investment on the number 1 and number 2 prospects in the Phillies organization. 2 cards in tow, I came upon a dealer I've never met or seen before. He really knew his stuff. He kindly greeted me, asked me what I collect and what I was looking for, and knew where I could find it amongst his large collection. His boxes were largely organized by player, so I shuffled through his Harper stack looking for rookies. And if you watched my last episode, you know that's a little side project of mine this summer. He said there were a few Phillies in the miscellaneous autos bin too, and indeed there were. Out popped Cole Hamels and Terry Mulholland. Cole Hamels recently signed a 1-day contract to officially retire as a Phillies man. He was the staff ace for a decade, he was the 2008 World Series MVP, and he tossed a no-hitter in 2015 for the club. Terry Mulholland was the ace of the early 90s and threw a no-hitter for the Phils in 1990. This is a 2017 Archives autograph in the style of a 1991 card, the year after he threw his no-no, the first ever at Veterans Stadium. I talked about this card specifically back in episode 10, so of course I had to have it. We quickly agreed on $20 for the pair, which I thought was a fair price. I told him I'd be back about the Harper rookies. I didn't want to spend all my money too soon, after all. As I was gawking at a hilarious table of Griffey rookies, flanked by a table that had nearly all Ozzie Smith rookies, I was approached by a fellow Phillies fan in a Chase Utley jersey. He recognized my shirt and wanted to talk baseball, and I'm always happy to engage. Only this John never shut up. He asked to see my cards, which I happily shared with him, only to hear criticism of my buys and bragging about how his Hamels autograph is better than mine, and Mulholland was overrated, and what I should buy instead, and have I ever read about this card, and do I have that card, and his cards are all in a bank vault, and he really does have a girlfriend, but she lives in Canada. Okay, I made up that last one. Probably. I shuffled towards another table, hoping a conversation with a dealer might be able to break the gravity of this newly orbiting asteroid. I found myself at a table that had a Harper rookie, the blue helmet variation, in a Beckett 9.5. My Phillies friend immediately went into a lecture on how Beckett isn't as good as PSA, and the blue helmet isn't as good as the red helmet, and Harper just had a third kid, and he had the red helmet card, but he doesn't let anyone see it, and his girlfriend in Canada is a model, and on and on and on. I asked the dealer what he wanted for the Harper, as I'm in the market. He said he didn't know and he had to look it up, so he brought up eBay, and here's where he lost me. He was selling a card that was in his case, and he didn't know its price, market, or value. He came back at $100. Without missing a beat, I said that PSA 10s were about $80, which they are. He came back at $60. Huh? Homie was just throwing out numbers. Nice card. Thanks, I'll pass on this one, as I'm really looking for a 10. All the while, my Phillies friend was just chirping about this and that, and I shuffled off again, and my new puppy followed right along. I ambled up to a vintage dealer with a case full of ungraded early Bowmans, and I asked to flip. My puppy dog finally soured, as vintage wasn't his thing because there aren't any variations and he doesn't know the players and he's really only looking for graded cards and his collection is amazing and I should really think about selling that Hamels autograph, and that model girlfriend in Canada just got a big swimsuit deal, and then he just left. 20 minutes of stream of consciousness, and then gone. I stood in the room, surrounded by the din of card flipping and dealing, with a case of vintage Bowman cards in front of me, and I enjoyed the silence. Tucking into the vintage bin, I was able to find a few upgrades for the collection, including a 52 Bowman Russ Meyer and a 54 Bowman Pudd'nhead Jones. $10 for the pair. Meyer was a righty for the Phillies from 49 to 52, the year of this card. He was on the 1950 WizKids team, and he went on to win a World Series with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1955. Pudd'nhead Jones was part of the Phillies' core of that era, and he was a fan favorite. The 54 Jones is a lot of face, but I kind of like that it's unusual that way. Shaking hands with the dealer, off I went, thankfully flying solo now. I wandered through the aisles browsing for something interesting. Anytime a dealer has cards organized by team, I stop. This chap had a group of cards that coughed up 2 Harper rookies, Bowman Prospects, and Chrome. The dealer wanted $20 each, which was way out of line with the market. I offered $20 for the pair. He hopped on eBay to see that these go for about $10 each, so he came back at $15 each cash, because I would need to pay tax and shipping on the eBay prices. I countered with, yes, but you would make 15% less than $10 on that deal. I'm not offering $8.50, I'm offering you that margin, $10 each. He realized that he had gone in against a Sicilian when death was on the line, and relented. $20 for the pair. Speaking of Harper, which I have been a lot lately, I found a 2012 Chrome Rookie Auto in a BGS 9.510. I didn't get a picture of it at first, but the dealer didn't have it priced. So I asked him, what do you want for the Harper? And he said, I don't know, probably $800? Probably. Another dealer who wasn't prepared. I told him I'm a buyer at $5, but understood that's on the low end of the range, so no hard feelings. He demurred, so I left for a while and then circled back on this card, showing the dealer that I was truly interested. I was on the lot and I wanted to buy. But on my second go, there was a price tag there for $900. Dude, you just said $800 20 minutes ago. Sometimes these jokers are exhausting. You might remember something similar happened at my last show if you watched that video, where a dealer raised the price on a card right in front of me. That was a Harper rookie too. So the chase continues. More wandering, and I noticed that the current Beckett price guide had Willie Mays on the cover. How prescient. We all felt Willie's death in our own way. Rest in peace, King. Running out of time, I circled back to the first dealer, who went out of his way to establish a relationship with me. He had some Harper rookies in there, and I still had some money left in the card show budget. I couldn't buy them all, but I could buy the Panini Team USA card, the Bowman base card, and the Bowman Chrome retail exclusive card. I didn't know about this card and was happy to get the lecture on its inception from somebody who knew about baseball cards. After a long conversation in which we talked about the different sets of 2012 and Harper's evolution over the last decade, we agreed on $12 for the 3 cards. I shook his hand, took his business card, and told him he had a customer for life. This is the way. My ride was coming, so I parked at a discount bin by the front door. The guy had a box of random autographs with a note that said, "Make offers. Challenge accepted." Flipping as fast as I could before my ride arrived, I found a 2007 Allen and Ginter Charlie Manuel with a great autograph on it. Manuel was the manager for the 2008 World Series team and a very popular guy in Philly circles. I set it aside. I flipped further and faster, and then this, a 2015 Panini Panama card of Edmundo Sosa. Sosa came to the Phillies in 2022 in a trade with the Cardinals. He's a bench utility infielder, and a good one at that. When Trey Turner went down earlier this year for 6 weeks with a pulled hammy, Sosa stepped in and stepped up to fill those shoes. Yeah, the auto is a bit worn off, but this card is very cool to me, and perhaps only to me. I might be this card's only buyer. Sweet merciful crap, that other Phillies guy saw me again and was making a beeline towards me. No!
God! No! God, please, no! No!
I put out the 2 cards and offered $2 because the auto was FUBAR. The dealer accepted, thankfully. Tucking the cards into my pocket, I turned and gave the other Phillies guy a nod as I bolted for the door. My wife was pulling up with a soaked kid from playing in a nearby splash park, saved and content as a clam at low tide. The next show I'll attend will be the National, and I bet there will be some highs and lows of that card show too. Thanks for watching. Unprepared dealers are easy to ignore. Tune in next time for more baseball card stories, legends, and lore.